a secure partner for our clients. Yes, sir.
Are you warehousing the data? You're providing your software as a service, and you're warehousing the data in-house? Or I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused because I'm not sure if you're deploying your software at your customer side, or could you just clarify a little bit, please?
I can. Up until maybe, let's see, what month is this? This is March, so up until maybe July, the software, we would sell it to our clients. It would be installed in our client's environment. The clients would be ultimately responsible for the security of that information. We have a business plan on the table now where we will start software as a service. That changes the name of the game for the organization. And that was quite a learning experience for me also. That was one of the things I had to deal with as a security person is, wow, you know, this is crazy. Now we're directly responsible for this information. Do you realize what that's going to cost us? What we have to do to make sure this information is protected? But as a manager, I know that there's strategic goals that we have to meet. So I have to step back and take a look. I have to take off my technology hat and start looking at the risks. Develop my risk report, hand it to the executives. Guys, this is what I think we need to do. Sat down with the executives, and they said, you're right, Rick. We're going to do this, we're going to do this. We'll accept this for now, but we're going to monitor it. That's a very big, I want to say a big win for me, because I think it really pointed out to the executives that we do have risks involved, but we also have to make sure we monitor those risks. And I think that, you know, when we look at this list of the threats, we have to worry about all these. Yes, sir.
You mentioned risk reports and talking to the board. How do you quantify these risks?
Very carefully. That's one of the hardest things in information security is quantifying the risks. Now, it's easy, you know, if you have a file of 50,000 records, you can go out and see what the research has. Estimated cost, $197 per record. So I can easily quantify that. 50,000 records times 197. This is how much it could cost the organization. But what's the perceived cost? What's it going to cost us if we were to lose a client? What's it going to cost us to not make that sale? What's it going to cost us in the long run? We're a private company, so our stocks aren't going to go down and then go back up a couple days later. And our, you know, somebody who makes 300%, I thought that was really cool. I'll be at home tonight looking to see who has the latest threat or latest compromise. But you know, that's one of the most difficult things as an information security manager is to come up with those quantifiable measures. You know, it's more about what do we think is going to happen if this happens. There's, you know, you've got a couple different algorithms out there like ALE, and you know, I don't even know if you can use a return on investment in that case. You know, is it really an investment when you put security controls in place? It could be. So it's very difficult to quantify that information. Best guess, maybe, you know.
Among the existing standards for risk management, which one you recommend the most?
I hate using this term, but that depends. For me, what I did was I started off with something very basic and simplistic, but I used the NIST as my basis, 800, I think -53. But I used that as the basis. I took a look at Microsoft's. They have a very thorough risk assessment, risk management process. But it was, to me, it was just too cumbersome. I want to make it simplistic. It has to be simplistic when you report it. You know, that was a trial and tribulation I had to go through, is developing that right framework, that right way to report it to the executives. How do I appropriately provide that information to them in a nice little graph? Because executives like graphs. They like to see that. They like to see charts and pretty colors, unfortunately. And that, you know, that was something that I developed off of that. And using the NIST one was very basic, I felt. And it was very good for our environment. Our clients want to know, and really anybody, when you connect to their network, they're going to want to know this. Who is connected? Why are they connecting? What are they using? How are they connecting? When are they connecting? When are they logging off? This is very important to our clients because they have to have the auditability in place. They have to prove that that person who logged into their system to support the product was on there for a reason, not just to jump on, to take a look because they felt like it. But there has to be a purpose. There has to be a business reason for that person to be on their system. They have to be authorized. They need to know. This is one of the slides I show also to our new employees to give them an idea of what the objectives are of information security. As you can see, I used the three big security terms right there: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So as a company, what do we do to help us with information security? We are SAS 70 Level 2 certified. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you if you have the right controls in place. I think that's one of the faults of SAS 70. So we're going to utilize ISO 27001 to help us develop a framework to determine if we have the right controls in place. And one of the students did a poster on incorporating COBIT and scoreboard, yes. I was hoping to talk to him because they also had in there about ISO. And I thought that was very interesting how they proposed to utilize those different tools. We also have a business continuity plan, and we use a product called SecureLink, which is a third-party application. It allows us to connect to our clients securely, but also allows us to audit those connections and uniquely identify who is connecting to their systems. We have over 300 people supporting our products. Any one of those individuals can connect to a client's system at any given time. So it's very important for us to be able to identify who is connecting. Prior to me taking the position of security manager, we had LAN-to-LAN connections. We would directly connect to their network. There was no authentication method. Our clients would just allow us to jump on at any given time. It was easy. It was convenient. ISO 27001, like I said, is a framework. Allows us to identify all the different regulations and requirements that we have to follow or clients have to follow. Allows us to map those out, develop a matrix for all those different requirements, and if the right controls are in place. Made a comment about insurance. 5 minutes, thank you. Fire insurance, everyone should have fire insurance. You don't think there's going to be a fire. You don't want a fire, but you have it as a protection because it could happen. But I'd like to point out that in a lot of organizations, they feel that a firewall is much like their insurance. You put it in, I'm safe, but it's not. There's more than just having a firewall within the organization. It's unfortunate a lot of small